Hello, this is Devin, the free range author. Welcome to my page. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to start this first reading with a quote from J.K. Chesterton. Fairy tales do not tell children dragons exist. Children already know dragons exist. Fairy tales tell children the dragons can be killed. Which makes me think, poor dragon. But anyway, if you have tuned in here, you are probably as tired as everybody else is of the coronavirus. So there is no coronavirus here. This is a coronavirus-free zone. We are going to get away from it and take our mind off of it onto something else. This is my way of helping out. So I thought in light of that, I would read you a story, one of my stories. So sit back and let's get into Wanderling's Choice by D.C. McLaughlin. Prologue. This is what comes of wanting to have adventures. Her mind yelled at her while she ran. Where is Falcon? A myriad of frantic thoughts raced through her head as Rhiannon fled through the halls of the castle to the courtyard below in a flurry of silks and gems. But one thought was most important to her immediate circumstances. She had to find her horse and get out of here. Her words from the night before came back to haunt her. Am I permitted to ride my horse? She'd asked the king of the castle. He had looked at her narrowly. Rhiannon, you no longer have any need of any horse. You are not permitted to leave the castle at any time, day or night. If you do, my servants have orders to kill you. Is that understood? Something hadn't felt quite right about the castle, and now Rhi knew why. This was no castle. It was her prison. A prison filled with the servants with blank eyes, vacant of any soul whatsoever. A prison run by a jailer who called himself King Nazar. More memories from the past few days came flooding into her mind. They did little to comfort her. They only made her feel more helpless and trapped by her situation. 5 young women had been led into the castle's sumptuous dining room, where Rhi had been having dinner with King Nazar. They were all beautiful, and they each had blank faces and the same soulless eyes as the other servants. These are some of my most precious possessions, he had told her. I found 5 pretty birds. They were each so lovely I could not let them fly free. Something bad might happen to them. So I caught them and put them here in my golden cage, where they would be safe from all harm the cruel world might do to them. I gave them every little thing a bird might want. I even asked each one to marry me. And still they were not happy. His eyes shifted to meet Rhi's gaze. So I separated them from their souls. Now they do whatever I tell them to, whenever I tell them to do it. It doesn't matter now if they're happy or not. They're just birds, pretty to look at and play with, but of no good use for anything really important, other than my amusement. His gaze held her eyes captive. They were cold and hard. Now I have found a 6th pretty bird to add to my collection. Her blood ran cold, remembering, and an icy needle of dread went through her. She had to find Falcon. She had to find her wonderful red stallion with the white mark on his forehead that looked like a pair of wings, and get out of here. She didn't even care if she could locate the saddle or bridle. She just wanted to throw a leg over his back and fly out of this damn place that held her captive. But the stable was empty. The stalls held nothing but cobwebs, moldy bedding, and dusty tack. No horse had set foot here in quite a long time. What has Nazar done to Falcon? Has he fed him to his pet dragon? Her lungs burned and her feet ached. She wanted to be free. She staggered to the courtyard and fell into a helpless heap of silver fabric and glittering gems. This is what comes of wanting to have adventures, she thought again to herself. She had ridden Falcon mere days ago before Nazar had caught her and taken her hostage in this fine prison the rest of the world called a castle. Up until this point in her life, her horse Falcon had been the center of her world. He had given her the life and the freedom she so craved. She had never known that one ride on Falcon might be the last time she would ever see her dear horse again. Now he was gone, and she didn't know where or how. She didn't even know if he was alive or dead. What had Nazar done to him? She should have stayed home, she thought to herself. She should have stayed a simple, unpretentious farmer's daughter, married the next-door neighbor's son, even though she only liked him, had a farm of their own, and raised a bunch of kids. It would have been better. It would have been a sure thing. It would be doing what everyone around her expected of her. But no, she wanted to get a horse and wander the lands, just the two of them, having adventures, and never, ever, ever getting married to anyone. Now her only escape was to do what she had been trying to avoid all her life, getting married to a man she did not want. Was it worth it? She wondered. Was it really worth it at all? Tune in next time.